Hey, Chris here from Brickhouse Paddles, and in this video I want to talk to you a little bit about our new Heritage 78. The Heritage 78 is actually designed and manufactured right here in Canada, and it's really for players who want to get to the net. They want a little bit faster hands, maybe a little more speed in their shots, are looking for better resets, and really maybe looking for a better softer game. If they're looking for a paddle with a really solid and comfortable feel. That's easy to play. This is going to be a great paddle to start checking out and looking at. So a little bit on the construction on this paddle. It is 16 1/4 inches long, 7.5 inches wide. It's roughly 7.8 ounces, give or take 0.1 of an ounce. It runs a 5.5 inch handle. For those that like to do a two-handed backhand, the handle circumference is 4 1/4 inches. And if you do have a special requirement for you want to handle a little bigger or a little smaller, you can just let us know when you're ordering your paddle and we're happy to accommodate you. The core is a 13 millimeter high density polypropylene honeycomb core. It's a very stiff core. It runs a very small cell size, and so it's a very durable core. The subsurface underneath the maple plane surface is a T700 carbon fiber, and then of course we do run our natural maple plane surface. This paddle is built on our standard Heritage platform, and all our materials are high quality. We go out of our way to make sure that we're not cheaping on carbon fiber, cores, trim, anything else, and we source locally. The shape on this is kind of a hybrid between our Heritage 77 and the Heritage 74. We took some weight out of the top by sort of rounding out the corners, and we took a little bit of weight out of the bottom by lengthening the handle slightly. And what that ended up doing is it gave us a very well-balanced paddle. And it's got a really nice solid feel, not a heavy feel, but just a very solid and stable feel. Some describe it as luxurious, some as rich. Mostly because the wood does a really good job of absorbing those harsh vibrations that you normally get with a carbon fiber or fiberglass paddle. And removing that and giving it that solid feel really helps build confidence in just about every shot you make. The core delivers adequate pop and power without sacrificing the control. This is by no means a power paddle, so if you are somebody that really likes to drive the ball, and this probably isn't a good paddle for you, but it does excel in the soft game. It's still got plenty of power, but it gives you a lot of control, and especially for your soft game in resets, and it gives you a great ability to speed ups. And when you're at the net, it excels in both attacking and defense. So whether you're driving the ball and looking for a quick speed up, or you're blocking, it's a great paddle for both of those. So just a little bit about spin, because that is all the rage lately. Our paddles run a high coefficient of friction plane surface, and that generates pretty good spin right out of the box. And as the more you play this paddle, the better the spin you get. And that's because the finish will start to not break down, but it's starting to soften up a little bit. The wood's starting to soften up a little bit, and you get a little bit more dwell time with the ball, and it really helps generate spin even after you've had your paddle a year or 2 years or 3 years. With a textured surface, which we don't run on our Heritage Series paddles, but with a textured surface paddle, your texture starts to wear out pretty much the day you start playing with it, and it's never going to get any better. So at some point you're going to end up with a paddle that really doesn't spin. So we'd rather use a high coefficient of friction surface that spins decently out of the box, and that just keeps getting better, and that's going to spin over the life of the paddle. One of the things that we have found with our high friction surface is that when it comes to dealing with balls that people are putting a lot of spin on, whether it's top spin or side spin, having a relatively smooth surface really helps deal with taking the energy out of some of the spin on that ball. So if somebody's putting a lot of top spin on their serves and you're having trouble dealing with those and they're popping up and going pretty much wherever they want, that's because when that ball hits the surface of a textured paddle, it just bites in. And as soon as it hits that paddle, it's coming off that paddle in whatever direction that spin was going. So unless you can counter that spin with the way you're playing your paddle, you're going to have issues. It's always going to be a problem for you. So with the smoother surface, what it happens is that ball hits that surface, and it just, before it comes off the paddle, it takes some of the energy off that ball. The ball doesn't bite into the surface the same. So it takes some of the energy and the spin off that ball, and it allows you to deal with them, or it allows you to return that ball with more precision, more accuracy, and less trouble. So who's the Heritage 78 for? Well, really, it's a great all-around paddle built for recreational players and people who like to play local tournaments. People who play the whole game and just aren't focused on banging the ball. People who like to get to the net and they are maybe looking for quicker hands, a little bit more paddle speed, and really value control over raw power. It really is ideal for players, beginner to intermediate, looking for a solid and comfortable paddle to play that has great touch and is very easy to get used to. At this point, the Heritage 78 is IPMA approved, which is International Pickleball Manufacturers Association, and it's approved for recreational play. This is not a USAPA approved paddle at this point, so you won't be able to use it in sanctioned tournaments. But if you're just playing at a recreational level, it's perfectly adequate. IPMA tests the same specifications as USAPA. It just doesn't cost us the same to have a paddle approved. USAPA now, for us to certify a new paddle, is well over 10,000 Canadian. So we got to sell a lot of paddles, or we have to really add a lot to the cost of the paddle, and we prefer not to do either. If you are looking for a USA approved paddle, have a look at our Heritage 74, our Excelsior, one of our retro series. They're all USAPA approved, and you are, if you're playing in a tournament. So there you go. If you're looking for a really fun, all-around performing paddle, the 78 is excellent. I am really enjoying playing this shape. I shouldn't really have a favorite, but this is now my current favorite shape and my current favorite paddle. So just before I sign off, ensuring a paddle is a good fit for you is really important to us. And making sure you're 100% happy with the paddle is key to our success. 90% of our business is word of mouth. And so we make ourselves available if you have questions. If you want to know whether one of our paddles is right for you, give us a call, drop us an email. We're happy to chat paddles. If one of our paddles is a good fit for your game, we'll tell you. If it's not, you know what? We're going to tell you as well. And we don't want one of our paddles sitting in your bag and you're not being happy with it. So give us a call, drop us an email. Always happy to chat paddles. There you go. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on the court sometime soon, hopefully, with a Brickhouse paddle. Take care.